Toyota has a rock-solid reputation for building cars that run forever. But here's the truth they don't want you to hear. Even Toyota has put out vehicles in recent years with serious problems. The kind that can cost you thousands. In this video, we're exposing 13 Toyota models from 2020 to 2025 that fall short of Toyota's legendary reliability. Some have design flaws, others have expensive repair risks, and a few are simply bad buys for today's market. Let's get into it. Toyota CHR 2020 to 2022. The Toyota CHR looked promising as a funky, youth-oriented crossover. Its bold styling and Toyota badge made it seem like a safe, trendy choice. But beneath the surface, it had some frustrating flaws. The biggest complaint? The engine and CVT combo. The 2.0-liter engine only makes 144 horsepower, which sounds fine until you realize it's paired with a CVT that feels slow to respond. Drivers report hesitation during acceleration, making merging or passing nerve-wracking. On top of that, the CVT itself has been prone to early wear. Some owners reported transmission shudder before hitting 80,000 miles. And if it fails outside warranty, replacement costs can be $4,000 to $5,000. Add in cramped rear seating and poor visibility, and the CHR ends up being more about looks than long-term satisfaction. Toyota Prius C discontinued 2020. The Prius C was Toyota's budget hybrid, smaller, cheaper, and aimed at city drivers. While it's fuel efficient, its hybrid system was already outdated by 2020. The older nickel-metal hydride battery packs tend to fail earlier than the larger Prius batteries, sometimes around 100,000 to 120,000 miles. Replacement costs can be over $2,000, which is a big hit for a budget car. Performance is another downside. With just 99 horsepower combined, it struggles on highways or steep hills, making it less versatile for mixed driving. And now that it's discontinued, certain parts are harder to find. Hybrid-specific components may take longer to source, and as Toyota focuses on newer tech, support for this model will only decline. For light city commuting, it's fine, but for anyone expecting Prius-level longevity, the Prius C just doesn't hold up as well. Toyota RAV4 Hybrid 2020 to 2021. The RAV4 Hybrid is one of Toyota's most popular vehicles today, but the early fifth-generation models had a serious and frustrating flaw. Many owners discovered their gas tanks wouldn't fill completely, often stopping around 10 gallons instead of the advertised 14.5. That's a loss of nearly 100 miles of range per tank. Toyota eventually redesigned the fuel tank and replaced defective ones under warranty, but not without thousands of complaints first. Aside from the tank issue, some early hybrids experienced noisy electric drive motors and software glitches that caused warning lights to appear unexpectedly. While the RAV4 Hybrid is now a great choice in 2025, the 2020 and some 2021 units are worth avoiding unless you confirm the tank issue has been fixed. Buying one without that repair could leave you making more trips to the pump than you expected. Toyota Corolla Hatchback 2019 to 2021. The Corolla hatchback brought sharp styling and a sportier feel to the Corolla name. But under the hood, it came with a direct shift CVT that had teething issues. This transmission uses a physical first gear before switching to a CVT belt system, but early designs suffered from belt slippage and even total failures. When that happens, you're looking at $4,000 to $6,000 for a replacement if it's not under warranty. Some owners also reported excessive oil consumption after just a few years of use. While Toyota addressed the CVT issues in later models, the 2019 to 2021 versions are more of a gamble. If you're in the market for a Corolla, the sedan with the traditional automatic or the updated CVT post 2022 is the safer bet. Perfect. I'll continue with models 5 through 13 in the same expanded, narration-ready style so you have a complete long-form YouTube script. Toyota Highlander 2020 to 2022. The Highlander is one of Toyota's best-selling family SUVs, but not all versions from 2020 to 2022 are winners. If you bought the hybrid model with the 2.5-liter four-cylinder, you probably noticed it feels underpowered for such a large, three-row vehicle. Owners often report sluggish acceleration, especially when fully loaded with passengers or cargo. This isn't just an inconvenience. In certain driving situations like merging onto highways, it can be a safety concern. Gas-powered versions with a 3.5-liter V6 are better in performance, but their 8-speed automatic transmissions have been criticized for rough shifting, delayed engagement, and occasional hard downshifts. On top of that, some Highlanders from this period experienced repeated engine misfire codes tied to ignition coil failures. While not catastrophic, replacing coils every couple of years adds up. If you're shopping for a Highlander, the 2023 and newer models iron out many of these issues and offer improved drivetrain tuning. Toyota Tacoma, 2020 to 2023. The Tacoma has a cult following for its rugged looks and off-road capability, but even loyal fans will admit it's not perfect. From 2020 through 2023, many Tacoma owners complained about transmission hesitation when starting from a stop or accelerating after slowing down. This gear-hunting behavior is especially frustrating in city driving. Toyota issued software updates to address it, but not every owner saw improvement. Another concern is frame rust. While Toyota dealt with massive frame rust recalls in older Tacomas, the issue has popped up again in some newer models, particularly in areas with heavy road salt. Repairing severe rust can cost thousands, and if the frame is compromised, the truck's value drops significantly. Finally, while the 3.5-liter V6 is durable, it's not known for stellar fuel economy. Combine that with a rough ride compared to full-size trucks, and some buyers have walked away disappointed. Toyota Sienna Hybrid, 2021 to 2022. The 2021 redesign of the Toyota Sienna brought a bold new look and an all-hybrid powertrain. On paper, it's a game-changer. 36 miles per gallon in a minivan is hard to beat. However, early production models had some teething issues. The most serious was transmission fluid leaks caused by faulty seals. For a brand new vehicle, that's unacceptable. A few owners even reported complete CVT replacements under warranty. There were also complaints of excessive cabin noise at highway speeds, largely from the CVT keeping the engine revs high during acceleration. While not a mechanical failure, it's a turnoff for families expecting a quiet ride. Additionally, some infotainment glitches, such as frozen screens and unresponsive controls, frustrated owners. Toyota fixed most of these through software updates, but if you're buying used, it's worth checking if the previous owner kept the system updated. Toyota Camry, 2020 to 2021, 4-cylinder models. The Toyota Camry is generally rock solid, but even it had hiccups in 2020 and 2021, especially with 4-cylinder models' 4-cylinder versions. These models were part of Toyota's massive fuel pump recall, affecting millions of vehicles across multiple nameplates. A defective fuel pump could cause the engine to stall unexpectedly, and yes, that could happen while driving. Toyota replaced the pumps for free, but some owners still experienced stalling after the recall repair, pointing to lingering issues. The good news is that V6 models were largely unaffected, and the 2022 and newer 4-cylinder versions have had fewer complaints. But if you're shopping used, make sure the fuel pump replacement was done, and test drive it extensively before buying. Toyota Avalon Hybrid, 2020 to 2022. The Avalon Hybrid is comfortable, quiet, and efficient, but it's also discontinued, which changes the ownership equation. With Toyota shifting focus toward SUVs and crossovers, parts for the Avalon will become harder to find over time. Hybrid battery replacements are already pricey. Expect $3,500 to $4,500 from a dealer. Another issue, the hybrid system in some early 2020 to 2021 models suffered from inverter failures, which can lead to sudden loss of power. While rare, repairs can easily surpass $5,000. If you want a hybrid sedan from Toyota, a newer Camry Hybrid or Crown Hybrid is a better long-term choice with more support going forward. Toyota Venza Hybrid, 2021. When Toyota revived the Venza name in 2021 as a sleek, two-row hybrid crossover, it turned heads. Unfortunately, first-year models had their share of glitches. Owners reported infotainment system freezes, random rebooting, and poor voice command responsiveness. Even more concerning, some experience 12-volt battery drain, leaving them stranded with a dead car despite having a hybrid powertrain. There were also cases of steering column noises and occasional binding during sharp turns, which dealers sometimes struggled to diagnose. Toyota addressed many of these through recalls and service bulletins, but the 2021 model year remains the least reliable of this generation. Toyota Yaris, 2020. The 2020 Toyota Yaris marked the final year for Toyota's smallest U.S. offering. It was essentially a rebadged Mazda 2, which is generally reliable, but its discontinuation creates challenges. Parts availability, especially for body panels, headlights, and interior trim, is becoming a problem. Some owners report long wait times for even basic replacement parts after accidents. While the 1.5-liter engine is durable, the Yaris lacks modern safety features found in newer subcompacts, making it less appealing as a long-term buy. Toyota Land Cruiser, 2020 to 2021. The legendary Land Cruiser is known for durability, but late U.S. models weren't flawless. Some owners noticed excessive oil consumption in the 5.7-liter V8, even with relatively low mileage. While Toyota considered some oil usage normal, repairs could involve costly engine work. Parts and maintenance are also expensive, and with the Land Cruiser discontinued in the U.S., dealer support will focus on newer global models like the Land Cruiser 250. Toyota Mirai, 2020 to 2025. The Toyota Mirai is a fascinating hydrogen fuel cell sedan. It's smooth, quiet, and produces only water vapor. The problem? Hydrogen fueling infrastructure is collapsing in the U.S. Outside of a few stations in California, it's essentially unusable. Even in California, many stations are offline due to supply issues, meaning you could own a $60,000 car and be unable to refuel it. Toyota offers generous incentives, but unless you live in a very specific area with reliable hydrogen supply, the Mirai is a risky purchase. So there you have it, 13 Toyota models from 2020 to 2025 that prove even the most reliable car brand has weak spots. Owning one of these doesn't guarantee disaster, but it does mean you should be prepared for potential headaches. If you've owned any of these Toyotas, drop your story in the comments. Like this video if you learned something new, share it with someone shopping for a Toyota, and subscribe for more no-nonsense car advice every week.